Good morning, class 11. So now we are continuing with the chapter, and we have come to the topic social order. So, like, social order in very simple terms is something which helps to facilitate or regulate the society, to keep the society stable. Okay, so it helps to keep the society stable, and these are like basically it helps to keep the society stable and in order. Social change has to be understood together with social order. So social change and social order can be it needs to be understood together, because like uh, you know social order, it facilitates social change. So the type of social order that comes in the society, or that is allowed in the society, it determines the social change that is taking place in the society. Social order can be understood as the possible reasons as to why society needs to prevent, discourage, or at least change. Social order can be achieved in two ways. So there are two ways in which you can achieve social order. Firstly, when people abide by a set of rules and regulations. When you, according to your own will, willingly you follow certain rules and regulations, that is when social order can be achieved. And secondly, when people are compelled to obey norms. And secondly, when people are forced to obey the rules and regulations. There are many examples that have been given in your text, so please go through it. And if you don't understand, you can ask me. The next one is domination, authority, and law. So domination, authority, and law, all of these words or all of these terms, it denotes something which puts like a certain kind of pressure on the members of the society to deal in a particular way. So legitimacy, what is legitimacy? Like, people, they use the word legit, right? It's like legit is something, like it's something which is right, or which is like good or genuine. So legitimacy, the same thing, or legitimate, is said is something that is accepted as proper, just, and fitting. So something which is good and which is genuine, and it fits perfectly in the particular whatever context you are talking about. Legitimacy implies conformity to the existing norms of right, propriety, and justice. So it implies conformity, okay, to the norms and justice, laws that are present in the society. According to Max Weber, he's a sociologist. So authority is a legitimate power. He has talked about different types of authority. Okay, so he says that authority, it is a legitimate power, something which is true, something which is genuine, and is considered to be justified and proper. So authority is a legitimate power which is proper and justified and accepted in the society. Members of the society are expected to abide by the rules and obey the authority or the person in authority. So the members of the society who are not in power, they are expected to respect and obey the people who are in power, who hold authority, who hold power. Okay, so then we come to law. What is law? You know what is law? Something which is written in the constitution, right? It is written rules and regulations. So a law is an explicitly codified norm or rule, is usually written down rules and regulations. So law is something like different countries have different laws. So laws is something which is written down and we need to strictly follow it. And any if we break the law, then we are causing some crime or violent act. Domination works through power, but the power is legitimate, much of which is codified in law. If we are dominated by somebody, okay, so they are saying that domination, it works through power. So it is power that an individual holds, because of which they are dominating us. But then this power that they hold is legitimate, it is right, and it is written in the word of law. So contestation, crime, and violence. Despite the existence of law, authority, there are violences taking place in the society. So like there are so many rape cases, so many crimes taking place in our country, despite of all these laws and acts against all of these activities, right? So there are violences and crimes taking place in the society. For example, despite of clear traffic rules, people don't follow them and they have a fight on the road. We've seen that many times. And then a crime is an act that violates the existing law. So any activity that we do that violates the law, of the country, is a crime. So basically I've done it in a very brief manner, okay, but I've covered the points, but I've not covered the examples. So examples, please try to relate to it, okay. There are quite a few examples, so please read it. So this is the last slide for this video, that is social order and change in village, town and society. So villages were formed when societies moved forward from nomadic way of life, hunting and gathering, to a settled agriculture and life. Like earlier, before villages, the idea of villages came forward. There were societies, there were nomad people who carried out this shifting cultivation. They did not stay in one place, and they did not cook food for themselves, but they used to hunt and gather fruits, vegetables and animals, okay. So but like as the society moved from that phase to a settled agriculture phase, where they started to live in a particular area and used to cultivate that particular area throughout their life, that was when the idea of villages came forward. So, population density and proportion of non-agricultural activities are factors which distinguish between a rural and an urban society. So, rural society means the village society, and urban society is all these towns and cities. Okay. So, the population density. So that means how many number of people are living in a particular in 1 square kilometer, and the number of people that are engaged in economic activity apart from non-agricultural activity. This denotes whether a society is rural or urban. So density means number of persons per square kilometer, like I said, and the density of urban area is higher than in the rural area. So obviously there will be more people living in 1 square kilometer in an urban area than in a rural area. In village, more people are engaged in agricultural activities. Okay, this is explainable. A town and city differs in size, and then a metropolitan area includes more than one city. A continuous urban settlement, that is a lot larger than a single city. So that is a metropolitan area, which is larger than a city, which includes about more than one city. Okay, it's an urban settlement. So then, what is urbanization? Okay, this is related to towns and cities. Urbanization is a process where large number of countries' population lives in the urban areas. So urbanization, there has been a rapid growth of urbanization because the number of people living in the cities, as a number of people living in the city is more than those living in the rural areas. So in India, the percentage of population living in the urban area has increased from 11% in 1901 to more than, oh my god, to more than 17% in 1951. Okay, so there has been a rise in this urban population. According to 2011 census, 28% of Indian population lives in the urban area. So it has been increasing rapidly from 1901, from 11% in 1901 to 28% in 201. Although this is not a very fast growth, but then there is a fast growth here, because according to 2011 census, 35% of Indian population, they are living in the urban areas, and now it must have increased more. That we will come to know in our next census, right? So this much for this video. Please read the chapter and please read the examples and try to relate to it. Okay, thank you.